This next castle, which I didn't actually take a picture of during the cruise because I thought it looked just a little bit too much like a movie theater scene, uh, is called the uh, Pfalzgrafenstein Castle. In about 1326-27, this toll castle was built because of the dispute over the Rhine toll between the Pope and King Ludwig of Bavaria. The king, who belonged to the Wesselberg family of Counts Palanate, had some dangerous enemies by raising the tolls in Cabas. Three times, Pope John the 20th second called upon the archbishops of Cologne, Treves, and Mainz to excommunicate Ludwig and take action against the Cabal toll, but his calls were ignored. Instead, King Ludwig ordered that a tower be built on the rocky side of Falklinau in the middle of the Rhine. Its construction that would enable him to control the waterway on the right side of the river. And between approximately 1338 and 1342, a defensive wall was built around the tower. Shaped like a boat, with its rich variety of roof and oriel structures, Pfalzgrafenstein possesses a picturesque charm, which, while its position on the river and its carefully planned design, make it a well-preserved castle even more unique. As a result of modernizations measures, the renovation in 1607, and then in the 18th century, a long hexagonal defensive wall now encloses the pentagonal tower, and a portcullis secures the northeastern entrance. In 1970-71, the Baroque color scheme of red and white was restored. Like Emfrel's in the electorate of Mainz, which comprises a castle, a toll post, and Mass Tower, Pfalzgrafenstein too consisted of different parts during the Middle Ages. While the toll was collected at Gutenberg Castle from 1310, the tower on the island only later became a strategic fortification. This tower is owned by the land of the Rhineland Platz. It is open to the public, and you can get there about a 5-minute walk. This next castle was the Gutenfels Castle. It is assumed that the Cube Castle, so its original name, was built by the order of the imperial ministers of Falkenstein, and its construction was begun in about 1220. Around 1277, it passed in possession of the Counts Palatine, who had it strengthened and enlarged in the 14th century. After yet another unsuccessful siege in 1504, the victorious Elector Ludwig the Peacemaker named it the castle Guttenfels, or Solid Rock, and had it renovated and improved for its fortification. But any resistance to Gutenfels Castle against 17th century weapons with gunpowder and cannons was futile. During the 30 Years' War, it was conquered by the Spaniards, the Hessen Swedish alliance, by imperial forces, and once again by the Hessen troops. In 1793, the castle was handed over to French troops without a fight. In 1806, Napoleon had the castle's fortification completely razed, reportedly because on his arrival he was not met with the appropriate gun salute. The castle narrowly escaped demolition in 1833, and the ruin instead being carefully restored in order to maintain its character. With its symmetrical shape and its mighty keep exposed on the defensive side, Gunfels Guttenfels Castle is a well-preserved example of Staten Fen construction style. The ground plan, including the great hall and the courtyard, and the armory with its 2 floors, is square-shaped and divided into sections of almost identical size. The Great Hall with splendid southern windows is considered one of the most beautiful and well-preserved secular buildings of the student period. The flat-roofed hall still contains some 13th century fireplaces. This castle is privately owned and can only be viewed from the outside. It is about a 15-minute walk from suitable parking.